Plaza. It doesn't really get much better than that. Beautiful weather, great atmosphere here, and one of the most anticipated fights in the sport being officially announced. The rematch we all have been waiting for between Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares. First off, I want to thank our hosts here, AEG, under the leadership of Dan Beckerman, its CEO, and as well the president of the Staples Center, Lee Seidman, for hosting us here at the Staples Center. Staples Center has a rich tradition of really bringing the best and biggest fights Los Angeles sees, and frankly the world sees, here to this fantastic venue. It seems the Staples Center always brings out the best in fighters. I'd like to acknowledge and thank as well Steven Espinoza, the president of Showtime Sports, for his amazing commitment to the sport. It seems like week after week we are witnessing on Showtime fights of the year, great battles, great matchups. Steven wants to unify the division. His commitment is frankly like never anyone else's I've seen in the sport, particularly from a network executive, to really push the best fighting the best. And that's what we are going to see right here with these two great fighters. So thank you to Steven Espinoza, and thank you to the entire Showtime family. I'd like to thank as well Andy Foster, the chairman or executive director of the California State Athletic Commission, really one of the best run commissions in the nation. It's in the world. Always a pleasure to be here. Now, as it relates to this fight, there's really not much more I can add. We all witnessed the first one. Over 2,000 punches were thrown between these two fighters. It's simply impossible when you have Abner Mares in the ring to see a boring fight. It's simply impossible to see a boring fight when you have Leo Santa Cruz in the ring. Now you put those two together, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 10 or 20 and whatever. And we as fight fans, we are going to have the pleasure to see these two guys go at it again. It's a 50-50 fight. Who is going to win? We don't know. But what we do know, it will be action here at Staples Center. And for as little as $50, you can be here and witness this great battle. Tickets went on sale about a week ago. We sold over 5,000 tickets already, so this will be a sellout. If you do intend to go to the fight, make sure you go and get your tickets now. We all know he's a tremendous, tremendous fighter inside the ring. He's a 3-division, multiple-time world champion, one of the most decorated fighters in recent history coming out of Mexico. That's inside the ring. And outside the ring, he is equally impressive, if not more so. He is a family man, has a fantastic wife, a great family, kids. He is a very close friend of mine, and he is truly one of the good guys of the sport of boxing. It's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you, out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, fighting now out here of Los Angeles, the 3-time world champion, Abner Mares.
How you guys doing? I was gonna wear a suit today, but no, hell no. It's too hot. First of all, I want to thank Richard Schaefer, Ringstar Promotions, Showtime, Al Heyman, Staples Center for making this possible. This is gonna be another great one. I can just imagine. Can I tell you guys? I can come in here. I mean, there's no way. Leo Santa Cruz is a great person, humble guy, good kid. He is the good kid, you know, and I guess I have to come in here as the bad guy. You know, I'm the bad person, so all I can say is words. I can talk, I can say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but I think my fist and my knowledge does the thinking for me. I think once we get in that ring, you already know. You saw the first fight in 2015, first bell. It's war. Nothing stopped me, nothing stopped him, and it was just toe to toe. We pleased the fans. It was a great, tremendous fight, and there's no other way to sell this fight. I mean, just go back and look at the first fight. This is gonna be just the same thing. A war, where two young fighters are fighting for pride, fighting for just everything. I'm fighting for redemption. He beat me the first time, and I'm gonna take this. Thank you guys. I hope you guys can come. Tickets are cheap as $50, like Richard said, and I already know this is gonna be a sellout because people know what I'm capable of doing. They know what Leo can do. So all I can say is I'm gonna win it. I want to dedicate this fight to my daughter, Emily, wherever she is. Her birthday on Monday. On Friday. This Friday she turns 12. I'm a proud dad, and I dedicate this fight to her. So you already know I'm dedicating something to my daughter. I got to keep my promise. I'm going to get that win. Thank you guys so much. Team Ares, we're going to get this. Let's do this.
Well, Abner, I have to tell you, even if you're going to try to be the bad guy, you won't succeed because you're not a bad guy. This is really, as I said, a fight between two good guys, and it's okay, you know. There doesn't always have to be the bad guy and the good guy. These are two true gentlemen outside of the ring, and I think that makes it so difficult as well for me as a promoter, knowing both guys so well, knowing their families and their children, and having been involved with their careers. I'd like to acknowledge as well the trainer who is in Abner Maris's corner. It's somebody you all know. He is one of the best trainers in the world today, training many world champions, and that of course is Robert Garcia. Robert! Now, I could pretty much copy what I said before about Abner when it comes to Leo. I've known Leo and his family for so long, been involved in so many of his fights, always been there next to him, to his side, been there you know, with all these victories, and there were many of them, 34 to be exact. I've been there when it didn't go his way, when it was a close fight against the first fight against Frampton. So you know, he is truly, as I said before, the same as Abner, a family man, beautiful family. His wife is there, his children, his father's been in his corner throughout his career, always been there for him. And so it's really nice to see such a close-knit family. And the son, being today one of the best fighters in the world, certainly one of the most exciting fighters, pound for pound, irrespective of weight class. It's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you the three-division, multiple-time world champion as well, Leo Santa Cruz.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Le quiero dar las gracias por estar aquí, a toda la media, a todos los fans, por siempre estarnos apoyando. Gracias a ellos estamos aquí donde estamos. Si no fuera por ustedes, no estuviéramos aquí. También le quiero dar las gracias a mi manager, Al Heyman, que siempre ha estado apoyándome, me ha estado guiando por un buen camino. Digo que pues todo lo que tengo se lo debo a Dios, pero digo, Dios puso a Al Heyman en mi camino, y yo pienso que si no fuera por él, nada de lo que ha estado pasando, todo lo que tuviera, tampoco sería posible. So, le quiero dar gracias a mi manager Al Heyman, también a Richard Schaefer, a Showtime, por siempre darme la oportunidad de pelear en esta televisión. También a TGB Promotions, muchísimas gracias. Now I just want to say thank you to my manager Al Heyman, to Showtime, to TGB Promotion, to Richard Schaefer, to all the Heyman team, and to all my fans, to all the fans that support boxing. That thanks to them, we're here. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we're at. And I just want to tell them thank you for always showing us the love, showing support. And you know, every time I step in the ring, I do it for them. Because if it wasn't for them, like I said, we wouldn't be here. So I know sometimes, you know, you could win a fight more easily, and you doing a different fight, but you always try to please the fans. You always want them to go home happy, not to say that it was a boring fight, and you just make the fight harder, and that's what I always try to do, and I know that what Mate does too. We always go out there to give the fans a great show, and you guys saw in the first fight that we went at it. We were going toe-to-toe, you know, exchanging. He gave me some shots, I gave him some shots back, and it was a really close fight, you know. And before the fight, I said that if I beat him, I will give him the rematch. I said if you beat me, I want him to give me the rematch. the fight didn't happen probably as really fast. It didn't happen faster than fast wanted it. But now it's happening, and I think this fight is gonna be better than the first fight. I think it's gonna be because Mares, he has a different trainer. Robert Garcia, he's a great trainer. He has many champions, and I have seen Mares improve. He has done a lot better, but that's another great motivation for me because Robert Garcia is training him. I know he's gonna come with seeking revenge, but I'm not gonna let that happen. My dad's a smart man too. He always knows how to send me in the ring and find the style of fighter that I face. Whoever fight, if he sees a fighter that boxes a lot, he knows a style to fight that. If he knows a fighter that brawls, he knows how to send me in the ring to fight that type of fight. And this fight, Mara dedicated this fight for her daughter. This fight is gonna be dedicated for my dad. He's going through cancer, and there's he has pain, and there's no other way to cure him. So I think the only way I could pay him back, or that I could make him feel a little bit happy, is by working hard in the gym, training hard, and give him this win. So this fight is gonna be dedicated for him fighting for cancer. And if he sees me working hard, not giving up, I think that's gonna give him the courage to keep on fighting. And this fight is just for him, and hopefully it's gonna be a great fight, like the first one, or even better. So I just wanna let you guys come watch us June 9 or on Showtime. That is gonna be a great fight that you guys don't wanna miss. When two Mexicans get in there, it's gonna be a war, and this is not gonna be the exception. So thank you all for the support, and see you guys June 9.
Team Cayman, which is represented here by the Watsons. There they are. It's not a fight if the Watsons are not there. So they are here. So we got a fight. June 9th is going to be a fight indeed. It's going to be a big one. But June 9th is another date which is very important. It's actually the weekend of the Boxing Hall of Fame inductments. And there's one person who is very special to the sport, who is very dear to me, who is going to become a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame that same weekend on June the 9th. A face which usually would be here with us on June 9th. We always seen him ringside, we see him in the ring, and that is Jim Gray. It's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you the great Jim Gray.
Hello everybody, it's great to be out here at the Staples Center, Star Plaza. When I look at all these great statues of Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, Wayne Gretzky and Shaq, and then I see Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares and what they did here almost 3 years ago. They are stars, and we're looking forward to a great fight on Showtime on June the 9th. Steven Espinoza and all of us will be here, minus myself. I would love to be here, but not too often that you get a call that says come to the Hall of Fame, so I think I better answer that call. And looking forward to that weekend, but I will be watching. What we're going to do now is we're going to just ask questions of the guys like I normally would, as though we were in the ring. And let's start with Leo Santa Cruz. ESPN called this fight and the scene after it happened reminiscent of Hagler-Hearns. And I was at Hagler-Hearns, and I was also at this fight. And it was a great scene. Are you expecting the same type of fight, Leo?
I think that he's going to be, come a lot smarter. He's gonna come out and be smarter than the first fight. The first fight he said that he wasn't thinking right, that maybe they weren't training for the right fight. And now with Robert Garcia, I know Robert Garcia is gonna send them to do another smart fight, like a smart fight. So, but whatever he brings to the table, we're gonna adjust. My dad's gonna tell me how to fight him, and we're gonna do everything we do to be always on top of that.
You won a majority decision, but I'm sure you've watched the fight on television and the replay probably several times. Can you understand how Abner might have thought that he won the fight, having watched it again?
Well, maybe because he was putting pressure the first rounds, and then he was putting the pressure, but I was boxing him. But it was a close fight. Us as fighters, when we're up there, we're not really keeping count of what rounds are we winning. We is up there fighting, and at the end of the fight, you think we're gonna think we both won. So but the judges, we leave that to the judges and to the fans, and we just I'm happy we gave the fans a great fight.
Do you have to change your approach at all for this fight?
There had to be little changes. We had to change some things. We had to box, start boxing probably since the first round, or maybe not. We're gonna see. My dad's gonna tell me what to do, and once we're up there, since the first round rings, we're gonna know what we're gonna have to do to win the fight.
Do you know any other way to fight than to just simply brawl like you do and throw so many punches? I mean, what I forget the number that was in this fight, over 2,000.
Yeah, no, I know how to box. I know how to fight different styles.
You do?
Yeah, but I always try to brawl because that's what the fans love. They love a fighter that goes forward, throwing punches, brawling, because that's what entertains them. So I think that's why I have always keep doing that. But they say you have to be smart. You have to be smart, and now I'm probably gonna start to be smart and just do the fight that makes me win.
Leo, how much have you changed, or has it altered you to have lost the fight after having had a perfect record and losing the fight to Carl Frampton?
Yeah, no, it was hard. Losing to Carl Frampton, it was hard. I was depressed. I was, I don't know, just depressed. But then the fans were sending me messages that I was still their champion. That one loss don't mean nothing. That you just go back to training, come and get the rematch, and the rematch to beat him, and it's gonna be like if nothing happens, the last never came. But our pride is to retire, to retire undefeated and everything. But at the end of the day, you have to think about it, and one loss, like I said, it don't mean nothing. It's as long as you have the fans support, the love, they keep on right there supporting you. That's all that matters at the end of the day, the fans.
Is it hard to want to beat up a guy you like?
Yeah, it is. It is hard. If you're fighting a fighter that that you hate or stuff like that, it's easier. Because you're like, oh, I hate him. I want to go out there and beat him. But when you see a nice guy or a family guy, like like myself, Amaris is a family guy. He has 2 daughters. He has his wife. They always, they're great persons, and you wish you didn't have to get in the ring with them, because you have to choose between you and him, and of course you're gonna choose yourself. So you have to. But this is a business. It's a business, and you have to do what you gotta do for your family. And once you get up there, you forget all those things.
All right, that's Leo Santa Cruz. Get your tickets June 9th. Richard Schaefer, ring star. Tom Brown. Richard always puts on great fights, and the Battle of Los Angeles. And now we turn to you, Abner. Abner, since this loss was such a great fight, I'm sure you have wanted this, and this has been on the top of your list to check off. How frustrating has it been for you to have to wait so long to get this rematch?
First of all, it would have happened last year. Can you hear me? Yes. It would have happened last year, but like Leo said, for certain reasons it did not. It was out of my hands, his hands, and it did not happen. But it's here now. It's official. We're here facing each other, press conference. So I mean, all I can say is that I'm eager to get in there and just get this win, redemption. Because ever since the first defeat, I got home, I watched the fight, and like Leo says, I mean, there's things I could have done too that would have made the fight easier for myself, which I didn't. And we just pleased the crowd, and that's what we did. And at the end of the day, you know what? Once I get in there, I know we all going in with the plan, but once you get hit, and then once you hear the crowd, it goes out the window, and you just want a war. So I don't know. I could sit here and tell you guys I'm gonna box him, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But hey, I'm a warrior. I'm that type of fighter, and I'm just gonna go in there and get this win, no matter what.
You've watched the fight, I'm sure, several times. Having watched it, do you feel as though the decision was correct?
You know what? I'm not even worried about that. I think, yeah, it was correct. It was a close fight, but I think he landed the more effective punches, you could say, the clearer punches. That's it. I'm over that already. As long as I'm happy with my performance as far as pleasing the crowd, I'm good. That's a win for me. Check, move on, and now I got this rematch. So it's time to make some changes and adjustments and get the win.
How much have you changed your approach? You said you really can't change your style, but how much have you changed your approach now with Robert Garcia in your corner?
Again, I can sit here and tell you how much I've done it, but all I can say is go look at my last two performances. My last two fights with Robert Garcia, #1 against Jesus Cuellar, the knockout artist, knockout puncher from Argentina, who's fighting Gervonta Davis soon. People thought I was going to get knocked out. People thought I was washed out. And look what happened. I dropped him. I won an easy fight. And that lets you know what kind of corner, what type of team I had. And that's Robert Garcia, RGBA, and that lets you know what type of Abner is going to show come June 9th.
Do you see any vulnerability now in Leo, now that he has lost a fight and he has tasted the same thing that you had tasted in your fight against him?
I mean, no disrespect, I've always seen it. You know, even when he was undefeated. That's why I've always said I could beat him. I know I could beat him. It's just a matter of, you know, going in there and having the perfect game plan and the perfect fight. I know he feels like he could beat me, but, you know, this is the type of fight where we had a so close fight that we feel like there's no way I could lose, you know, so it makes it that exciting. He feels that, you know, he could box, he could do different things, but I'm more natural at that. So I think it's just gonna come out to just who's more patient and who really goes in there and does who does their homework and who really goes in there and really does it.
Guys in the middle, get down.
Hey, Steve, how's it going? Okay? You're doing good with the shirt. You got the shades. You're ready.
So it's obviously very hot outside. We're going to do the one-on-one interviews inside. Everyone just be patient.